get... All right, ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Yo! Wah, wah, wah. So how early on this fine, rainy Sunday morning?
Oh, yes.
I didn't know it was going to rain today.
Me either.
And we have 2 of these to do. So I'm just like... I walked out of my house, it's like, oh, shit. This is going to be just like, you know, low energy.
Yeah.
Immediately came in, chugged a Dr. Pepper. I need caffeine because rain makes me just want to go.
Oh my gosh, same.
Same? Yeah. All the way to sleep.
Yeah. Are you a big caffeine person?
Yes, and I have to force myself to not be because it was getting out of control.
Okay, literally same. So like I work at Starbucks, so I have just unlimited access. And the other day, I started off my day at work with like 6 shots of espresso in my drink.
What the fuck?
And I was like unfazed, and I was like, okay, I need to change. So I dialed it back
Same.
to like 3 shots, and I've been just trying to stick to it, but it's been rough.
Like trying to quit smoking, you just like, well, I'll
Yes.
just do 5 cigarettes today, and tomorrow's 4.
I'm just like doing stuff all the time, and I need my
Same.
little.
We all are.
routine.
That's why we're all addicted to that shit.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all day I have to be able to function complete at
Exactly.
100%. Just go. I was the 300 milligram, like the rains and the blast, 3-4 of those a day,
That's wild.
and could go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just take a nap. 1,000 milligrams of caffeine in my body, and I'll be like, I'm kind of tired right now.
I gotcha.
It got way out of control, so I just cold turkey. And now when I need something, I'll have 1 Dr. Pepper and I'm fucking zooted. So it's like, that's
kinda
good.
nice, though.
It is
Yeah.
nice. I use it for basically how you're supposed to use it when you need it.
Okay.
You know, like a medicine instead of just an addiction. Because I have an addictive personality.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been addicted to a lot of things. I think work too. I'm addicted to just doing shit.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. I think the artist brain is just that. I don't ever want like free time.
Yeah. Okay. So lately, I've been like the busiest I've ever been in because I'm in like 2 bands.
I was gonna say, you just started a new act,
a
too,
shift
yeah.
supervisor at Starbucks. So I would like go to work at like 2, get off at like 10:45, do music stuff till like 4 in the morning, wake up. I have like
Damn.
my off day. There's probably a show I have to do, or like I'm going
Or
to
be
band
at,
practice, and it's just a lot. And
It's
I'm
a
just
lot.
like, so yeah.
Are you doing both bands every week?
Yeah, I like
Nice.
I need consistency.
I do too.
So like I try and have at least 1 practice per each, like once
Every
a
week,
week.
yeah.
Otherwise, I just kind of go crazy a little bit, and yeah.
Samesies. I lose my mind.
Yeah. So you're doing like how many now? Like
4,
4.
and this. And I just started working at Vino's, and I own
Okay.
my own business doing flooring.
Yeah. So you are crazy busy.
I'm
2 is a lot for
stupid.
me. I mean,
And I try to practice once a week. Now, luckily, 3 of those bands are the same band.
oh okay.
It's the same people in the band. So we kind of just, hey, this band has a show coming up, and if we have both bands, then we'll just do 2 practices in
Yeah.
one night.
I gotcha.
Which, you know, kind of whatever. It's kind of exhausting, but
yeah.
we make it work.
Gotcha.
I miss being young because my first band I was ever in, we would practice 3 to 4 nights a week just because we didn't
I bet you were
have shit
so
to do.
tight though.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, we did some pretty cool shit, and we did get to play in like I don't know if these are still things. Remember showcase shows? Like labels would get together, and we got to play a showcase show for Epic and Sony.
Okay, that's
And
crazy.
Epic Records was like, send us these demos. We want to hear more. Broke up the next week.
That's always how it goes.
Every time.
Yeah.
So how's Lap doing?
Doing well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gearing up to finally record. We have like a million songs we've been playing forever. Finally gonna record with them, so I'm excited.
Are you doing it yourself?
I think the goal this time is to go into an actual studio because we've always like DIY'd it, and any band I've done just like DIY'd it, and it was cool, but like I want it to sound pretty good. Like
Something to hold on to.
yeah, like our last thing we did, we just kind of like live recorded it in the practice space, and it was good for what we put into it, I guess.
Sure.
But like I would love to like I don't know
the process, like sit down with a producer and engineer.
And not have it like rushed and like,
Yes.
we're just knocking this out. I like to take my time with it and make sure it's good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we've been doing some like small runs. So hopefully the goal is now that we've played a bunch of places and had like a pretty good response, we can like follow up with like a record.
Absolutely.
And maybe like shop it around. That'd be cool to like send it to someone. So have a few people in mind maybe. But I don't know. I'm excited.
That is exciting.
And we just like, I feel like we're getting to the point where we've like figured out our thing. And
Absolutely.
it's like coming together.
It takes a
more.
while. How long have y'all been around?
We started like right before COVID.
I was gonna say I feel like it was
Yeah.
pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all went to the like DIY punk baseball thing all the time. And I knew Cass from like, she used to live at Pine Street.
Right.
And I knew Caleb just from booking shows and stuff. And we kind of had been like seeing each other around. Caleb's last band, Shoe, had just broken up. And I was trying to start a thing.
I remember Shoe.
Yeah. So I was like, we should get together, hang out, and like see what we can come up with. And we just kind of like played for a while over the pandemic. Just got together each
Just
week.
bullshitting and riffing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's been really good. It's been one of the most fun bands I've been a part of. Everyone's super sweet. And like we all listen to like kind of different things and don't really have like a thing we're going for.
Right. So it brings in more influence.
Yeah. And like there's like a few things that we can all like agree on and we like can like find some commonality between us. But like, I don't know, like our guitarist, Penhole, he's really into like weird noise rock stuff and like he loves like Palm and like X Models and stuff like that.
No idea what any of that is.
Just like weird like dissonant guitar kind of stuff. And Caleb's into like heavier music and me and him bonded over being into like screamo stuff. Like I got to book like his old band with like Jerome's Dream and all those like 90s screamo bands that were coming through. So we kind of got tight over that. And then me and Cass both love just like new wavy synthy stuff.
I can tell.
So yeah, so that's kind of our thing. And between all of that, kind of we came up with whatever Lap is.
Right. And then time.
Yeah.
You know, time squish out all the bugs.
For sure. It was really funny because we get together and be like making stuff and people are like, oh, you guys are like a screamo band. And I was like, I guess, because I am kind of doing some screamy stuff, but no one else is like really listening or trying to make it that. So it's fun.
Some people just use that as a descriptor, though. I got that in every band I've ever been in.
Okay.
So you're like that screamo stuff. It's like,
yeah.
You heard a word one time.
Well, did you ever listen to like screamo, like Page 99, Seisha, like, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of when I was like in high school.
The vibe, the high school vibe. Oh, high school. My
Yeah.
high school was very different. It was more like Corn, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And even in the underground, it was like Zayo, Living Sacrifice.
Okay.
It's like the super heavy shit.
I gotcha. I
Yeah.
can get down with that.
The screamo didn't really come around till right after high school.
Okay, gotcha.
That's when like Under Oath was been like
Oh my gosh, yes.
99 is when they like started. So they didn't even get out there till like 03. So I was already graduated.
Yeah, for
04,
sure.
they're playing Warped Tour on the tiny stages. Yeah.
I love Under Oath because I grew up in like a super Christian home, so I could always tell my parents I was going to like a Christian show, and they'd be down with it.
I think that's why those bands did so well in the South,
Yes.
because we all grew up in like sort of, you know, everyone had these Christian homes we were all living in. Even my parents were both kind of like sort of religious, but not really. And it's like, oh, it's just they're a Christian band, and everything we listened to was, you know, Norma Jean, Zayo, Living Sacrifice. It's all the heaviest thing you've heard, but they're all
Christian,
good Christian
and then,
boys.
Since my parents couldn't understand anything they were saying, I was just like, oh, it's another Christian band. And it would be something like insane, like definitely not Christian.
Definitely not
but,
Christian. Just passing the buck. Oh, love that.
Fun times.
I like taking my time playing in a band too. My other band, Crows, with my wife, we've been taking our sweet time.
We got to play that show together.
The backyard barbecue.
That was so fun.
Super fun, except for the food fight at the end.
Oh yeah. I see. I was blissfully unaware and just like in it. Didn't know that it was such an issue.
I think it became what my issue was. I think Jacob Murray was hurling bread nuggets at me on purpose, and one of them hit me in the fucking throat.
God.
He was actively trying to hit
you. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Thanks, Jacob.
Shout out, Jacob.
So So how long have you been doing music though?
Probably,
Like, was it in school?
yeah, like I definitely was like had some bad high school bands where we were just like, I don't know, covering like The Devil Wears Prada and shit like that. But as I got older, I got a little more serious. I started like booking shows actively and going to more shows around college. Like I grew up going to like downtown and stuff, so I'd go to like all the hardcore shows as a teenager. But college is really when I guess I started playing music more and like taking a more active role in like booking and the DIY scene and stuff.
Super DIY, because it was like house shows and some tiny venues.
Yes, I love house shows though forever. They're always my favorite.
They really is something special about just something gritty and just we did one. I don't know if you booked it or not. It was a Lame Johnny show. It was forever ago.
Possibly.
Yeah, it was in someone's kitchen. Or like living room was fireplace. Anyway, it was fucking awesome.
That might have been. I don't know.
I think you were there.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I definitely used to go to all those.
I was like, what the fuck is even
which
happening?
House it was?
I don't. I just remember it had really tall ceilings. It was a really old house, so that was kind of surprising. And it had a big, giant, like white painted fireplace.
Oh, that's not Gain Street. Could be.
Maybe. That sounds right, actually.
Yeah, it's probably Gain Street. I don't know if I booked it, but definitely remember that era.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Love a good house show. Just fucking chaos.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's there for the same purpose. And it's just
for sure.
Fun.
I'm just a sucker for like the floor show too, and like I feel like I always sound better through like the shitty PAs because that's what the practice space has that I've always been in. So I'm like, okay, I can work this.
It's what you're more comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never really thought of it like that. Interesting.
Because that's what I'm used to. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I do this every week, so I can.
Because I play in Lame Johnny, which is very punk, very middle finger. It's got the attitude. It's an attitude. Fuck everything.
Yeah.
And playing closer to people definitely feels more right.
Yeah.
But then, like in My Hands to War, it's like this bigger, grandiose thing. We like the stages. I want to put my drums on a drum riser and do the whole fucking thing. LED walls.
I kind of love that too, though.
I like them both.
Yeah.
But there is something uniquely special about being. You're screaming into a microphone. There's a person right here, like sweating on you. We're sharing all the space. We're breathing the same air, literally.
Yeah.
Something awesome about that.
No, I feel that. I love them both. Like the coolest show I've ever been to, though, I got to see like Charlie XCX, and her show had like the biggest production of any show I've like seen, like the visuals and the lights and like the interludes between.
Which is always tight.
Someday I would love to be able to do that. But also, I don't know. I love like the immediacy and intimacy of like house shows.
Both are cool for different ways.
Yeah, they're just different vibes.
Production is, yeah, exactly. But production is awesome. I work in production and have for a long time.
That's
and even,
cool.
In my bands, we try to find a way to do something that is not just us playing instruments to church up the vibe. So, except Lame Johnny, we just like show up, play. We always play first.
I got you. Okay, playing first. Underrated. I know everyone hates it, but I get so anxious waiting around to play, and whenever they're like, show starts at 9, you're playing last, I'm like, okay, that's a nightmare. And I'm just like walking around, pacing, ready to play, ready to get it over with. Like...
I'm right there with you. I love first position. Start the show off great. Yes. I know we're gonna do good. I have faith in us.
Exactly.
Crush and just go outside, be miserable for 20 minutes, pack up your shit. And then you get to come in and chill.
Yeah, exactly.
and if you get too tired, you can kind of be like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm old. See ya.
Exactly.
Which I try not to do, but there has been moments where I'm like,
I get it.
This was too much. I worked all day and then I played a show and that was a mistake.
Yeah. I think that first band I saw you in was that band Hot Mess.
Oh, yeah. Forever ago.
So that was forever ago.
Yeah.
I think
Was that the Thurber Dome?
Yes, and I think that like I had a band that played with you guys a few times.
Absolutely.
At the time.
And
that was really fun.
Spirit Cunts? Was their name Spirit Cunts?
That was yeah.
They were
played
awesome.
A lot.
They played a lot. And then they just disappeared.
Yep.
You know what happened to them?
I think that they broke up.
Oh.
Because they were like dating.
Right. Damn.
Yeah.
I guess you break up in real life, the band's got to go to.
Yeah.
Shit, they were good.
They were good,
Yeah.
though.
Good times, man. I miss that place.
For sure. It was like either the best show you're going to play or the worst. There was no in between. Like either you go there, it's packed out, everyone's having the best time, or you go there and there's like 2 people and it's really awkward.
And they're like, we're still going to videotape it.
Yes.
You can't hide your shame here.
For sure. But I don't know. Russellville, I don't know if they're still doing stuff right now. It's like hit or miss.
Crows, right? We got hit up to do a show there, and I was like, I didn't know they were still doing shows there.
Yeah.
And then on the way, we made all these stop. Like we're getting on the interstate, and we get a text like, "Hey, the other band's dropped. It would just be y'all, but if you want to still come all the way out here and play, you can." And we were like, "No,
Yeah.
like no,
I think I'll
that's.
stay home.
I think that's way too far for just one band." Haven't seen anything since. They didn't post it on Instagram or nothing. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that was just a fluke or maybe they were trying to restart after the
pandemic.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what about Ultra 2 now?
Ultra. Okay, that one's really it's the new thing I'm doing with my bestie Christian. So
it was killer.
Yeah, I used to work at the Starbucks with his partner Ollie.
Okay.
And I got a promotion and I went to this other one. And I kind of knew him through Ollie, but didn't really know him. I knew he played music, but we started working together. And he was like, "Hey, like we should like hang out. We have like a lot of like common like music stuff." So I went over after work one day, and it turns out we do listen to like all the same things. Like he's super into like PC music stuff and like Sophie and like just like all the like electronic stuff that I love. So we just kind of started making music, and it's been fun. That one's crazy. Like I was telling you, like we'll work until like 10:30, get off, go to his house, hang out for a sec, and then just plug in my synths and just like start working at it. And it's been really fun because like I've like dabbled in electronic music. Obviously, like I have like a million synths, and like growing up, I've always loved electronic music. But he's able to like tie it together, which is like I guess the missing thing for me. So I was just like using all my like analog synths, and then he'll just like connect it with like a drum part, and we'll just kind of go from there. But it's been really fun, and I don't know, cause like we'll try. It's like all new stuff for me and him both, cause we've never really done something like that. So like we'll just try a thing out, and it's been like weirdly easy, like working with him. Like we have like pretty good chemistry.
You all like the same thing, and you know, both talented, and both been around, both understand the genre.
Exactly. And I don't know, like we'll like I don't know, have like a frame of reference or an idea, or he'll be like, we should try something like this song. We'll like listen to it, maybe start with something like that, but then it ends up going like a completely different direction.
Every time.
Sounding nothing like that, but in a cool way that I enjoy. But it's been really fun, like, because it's just been me diving into my synths more, and then I have this sampler that we've been using.
And Christian's just the most talented.
He's incredible, honestly, and he's like the way he talks about it himself too. He's like, "Oh, you know, I suck. I just have like this like shitty
That's every
first
time."
act." And I'm like, "No, stop."
Just watched them play a couple nights ago. Any given room.
That was a weird show. Did you go to that?
Well, I played it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I got there late. I had just got off band practice and was gonna go catch his set.
Oh yeah, we were first. Lame Johnny only ever plays first. That's like in our rider. Like we'll play your show, but we're number one.
That's what I need to do. I need to jump on that.
Hey, it wasn't by like this is not something we set out to do.
Yeah.
We were getting to the point where like we were playing a lot of shows pre-pandemic. So it was like, oh, we're starting to move down the line. You know how you start opening and then now we're middling and then we're okay. Now I guess we're gonna headline a show or two.
Yeah.
And we were doing some headlining gigs, and we opened a show, and we all 3 of us were just like, this is the best thing in the world. Like collectively at the same time.
Of course.
And we all just agreed. I was like, hey, we should just only open. Like we can
That's
like
amazing.
our motto is we're the world's greatest opening act.
Hell yeah.
We'll start the show off right and then
Wait, was that the Full Moon show?
Full Moon Records, yeah, we opened that one.
Okay,
and then
yeah.
What was right after that? Rachel's band.
Oh, with Violent Pact.
Violent Pact.
Yeah.
Because they did the Korn cover.
Yeah.
I just fucking sat down.
Oh,
Sat down. I'm tired. I'm fat. I'm old. and I go, "Floom," and I hear ding, 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 and there's a room full of people, and they all turn and look at me, and they go, "Do you hear it?"
I love it. They just make goofy, like, tough guy music, but none of them are really like that. And, like, people will be like, man, Rachel's so scary. Like, I'll hear stories of her just, like, accidentally wrecking someone in the pit. And they'll be like, oh, Rachel broke my nose. And then I see her, and she's just like, hey, do you want to, like, cuddle? Like, you want to go? Like, I don't know.
Well,
it's funny.
The tough stuff is always the most unassuming.
Yeah.
You know those memes that go around? It's like if your bassist looks like this, and it's like just some generic, looks like a high school math teacher, then you're about to get wrecked, you know?
But they've all been going to hardcore shows forever, so I knew it was bound to happen because
for sure she's
like grown up in that and like heard.
I'm surprised it took that long.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
She's always trying to start stuff, but then it just like fizzles out or people can't commit. But this one seems to be going, so I'm excited.
Yeah, us artists are fickle. Well, maybe. Well, it's my 17th band. I'll be in.
Dude, I don't know how Matt does it. Matt's also like trying to do a million bands.
Zach, Matt.
Okay, they actually did have to be like, Zach, you're in too many bands. Like, you're gonna have to, if you can't make it to practice or the show, you should probably just.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's doing stuff with them anymore because he has got too much going on.
He just wants to do everything. I get it. I get it. I'm the same way. I would be in another band if I knew I could do it, but there's no fucking way.
Exactly. I mean, if it was the right band, I'd do it. But like, 2 is a lot already.
At one point in my life, I was in 5, and we practiced every night of the week, Monday through Friday.
That's rough.
And then if shows were happening, and so
I would have no downtime.
I would go work all. I didn't have the podcast yet. So thankfully this didn't exist and that wasn't a part of my routine. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, go to work, get off work, and I work construction. So just.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. And then where we practice, there's no AC. It was just in a shed in my yard. Oh yeah.
I can't deal with that. Ugh.
It was so awesome though.
I bet.
That was like the hot mess era, actually.
Okay,
yeah.
I kind of missed that. I always kind of hoped that you guys would do more stuff because it was just really fun.
Crows is going to do that. I mean, Crows is kind of in the same vein. It's 3 of the same members.
That's true.
But we're trying something just a hair different with like the guitar tone. I just am a huge fan of the minimalistic sound of a band. Like, how big can you make it with the least amount of people?
No, that's cool. I feel like I'm maybe the opposite in a bad way because I've got like 2 synths and the sampler and like a vocal pedal, and it's like so many chords, and it's just like crazy. And I have like a mixer too, which I finally had to get to make it easier on the sound guy. I felt so bad, and I just like show up, and it's like
I need 74 DIs. Yeah,
exactly. So.
Well, good on you for knowing that.
Well, it's like I'm always like, man, I want more gear. I want more things. And then I try and carry all the things to the thing. And I'm like, I can't get anything else.
Yeah, you need a rack system.
Yes.
Something on like wheels. You can pull it out of a car, truck, or whatever, a trailer.
I've got it like a little bit more contained. Like before our last little mini tour, our guitarist got me this like karate bag that has like all these little different pockets. And it like weirdly works so well. And I have like a system now where I'm like, okay, I have like the XLRs on this side and then like the instrument cables on this side. So getting there, but
I think a DJ rig would actually do you really well. Something you could just flight case, boom, pop the lid. Okay, I need one input. Clink.
So I got to see Arca, who's like one of my favorite artists of all time. I don't know if you know her. Nope. She's incredible. But she played at the Momentary in Fayetteville, and the Waltons just threw a shit ton of money at her and gave her like a 2-hour time slot.
That's all they do.
Which is crazy. So she was like, I don't have 2 hours of like,
so she's just fucking up there, fucking around.
She did kind of fuck around at the beginning and did some improv stuff that was awesome.
That's
and it like went really well. Played the hits, and then afterward did like the best DJ set I've ever seen. And I know people like shit on DJs, but like if you see a really good DJ, it's like the most incredible thing. And their knowledge of like flipping things and then doing it all, and like, it's crazy. And I want to do it.
I think DJs and bassists are the same. There's bassists who are just there to serve a purpose because they could have someone who could play bass.
Is there to serve cunt, and that's their purpose.
Right. Or there's the DJ, there's this DJ, and then there's this, the DJ who's actually doing it. And I've worked enough shows to know, like, this DJ, that's just some bullshit. You're just hitting this.
They're usually doing it for a job, so I can't even hate because they just get paid so much. It sucks.
I get it.
But also, like, I don't know. Okay, as someone who makes like electronic music, I have so many people being like, "Oh, you're just pressing buttons. Oh, you're just."
That's not true if you're not.
And I'm like, listen, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, especially like in lap when I'm like triggering these sequences and like fucking with them while also doing vocals and trying to play a synth line over the sequence, and we're trying to match it up so that Caleb's playing to it because we don't have like in-ears or anything.
There's no metronome. You're trying to craft a digital.
We do all that weird mathy stuff, but the sequence is just like a 32 steps.
And it's never not right.
Exactly.
Because the digital it doesn't have a feel for push and pull. It's just it's on the note every time.
It's so fun because you can like plan the things out, but then you can control like how it sounds with the oscillators and do all the weird stuff and layer it and make it sound real big and do like the sound design stuff, which I think is like another art form in of itself. You know what I mean?
100%. Anyone with an iPad and GarageBand, if you've ever screwed around with the oscillator on the bottom and it's like all I can do is make it fade low to high. I'm not good at this. Like, how do they do that?
Fun. I originally I didn't know how to play keyboard or like piano, and I got like my first synth because I'd always wanted to do it, and I just kind of taught myself. And I feel like at this point, like I can play like stuff, but also I've just learned how to make weird noises too, which is I feel like another skill.
Noise is a skill. It is. Crafting, like I used to be a huge fan of playing feedback from a guitar.
That's so cool.
Like trying to learn how to manipulate the feed. So like bend the guitar this way, do the note. And I still to this day, if you watch me play guitar, you'll see me like shifting the guitar around, making it move. Cool. Like I love playing with the noise, the scape, the nuance bits.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nuance, what makes it, I think nuance is the you of the music. Mm-hmm. There's a root, which is something anyone can kind of come up with. 5 to 7 and blah, blah, and it's in this pattern, which, they say all the notes have already been played. All the possible chordings have already been done. So everything we're doing is kind of just already been there.
Yeah. So
the nuance bits are like the flavor, the person, the personality.
But people say that, and people like shit on stuff like that where they're like, "Oh, it's so simple." But as long as you're writing a banger, it's like, you know what I mean?
I have a song. I did that on purpose. Like I have a song. It's one fucking note, and I did that as a challenge to myself. Like I'm gonna make this one fucking note good. I call it like it's like song lasagna.
Yeah.
Lasagna separate. Fucking hideous. You just want to eat some sauce or some ricotta. You're just gonna take a fist of ricotta to the face. No, but you layer it. And you get this beautiful dish. Yeah. Song lasagnas.
Song lasagnas. That's beautiful. I think you should like trademark that.
I might write a book someday. The art of simplistic writing.
Sign it and give it to me.
Okay, well, we'll
I will cherish it.
Damn it! Did I just put myself on the hook for a book?
Yeah.
I could do that. I've got no free time. Yeah, comedy special. I definitely want to do that. Actually, the comedy special should just be me going to one open mic, realizing I'm terrible at it. Just put that out.
We talked about everyone in Lap is going to do an open mic one night with their like really dumb, complicated gear and spend a really long time setting up, like maybe like 15 minutes, and then just hit a thing and then just like break down and leave. Just like the whole bit is that it just takes forever, and we're like, I don't know.
That's like
It would only be funny to us. Everyone else would be pissed.
They'd be like, what the fuck? Did you say, what the fuck are they doing?
We're getting it together, but we used to just take so long to set up because we have so much. We're like kind of a maximalist band, I think. But like, it's cool and it works. But like, we were like playing on these like little runs, and I was like, okay, we need to get faster. We need to get better at setting up and breaking down. Like the last like show we played on the last run, I felt so bad. We were having like a few technical difficulties, and we were like playing like second, and it was just like we're supposed to have like a 20-minute slot, and it did not pan out.
20 turns into 40 because of
like,
one thing.
I could just see the people sitting there waiting, and I was like, This is a nightmare. And there were people that I was like, I kind of low-key want to impress these people. But
right. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
You know.
It still went over well, and everyone was super sweet to us. But I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know. It fucking happens. And it takes time to learn that, too. At least you're, cognizant of it. Because sometimes you'll see bands that have been doing it for years and years, and they're just like, I'm packing down the cymbals on stage.
No.
And it's just like, I'm going to
fucking way too much anxiety
chunk
for that.
you out the fucking window.
I have way too much. I feel so bad if I'm like inconveniencing people, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to throw all my stuff in.
I have fucking anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like the one, maybe two things give me anxiety. And being on stage longer than 5 fucking minutes after we're done, I'm just throwing shit.
Oh my gosh.
Please, God, get it off the stage.
Exactly. I feel that.
Well, I feel weird being on the stage. I don't know. It's never escaped me. I love performing, love playing music, all those things. But before and after, I just just start.
And with Ultra, it's so much easier that I feel like I'm cheating. Because
right?
I'm just like, I finally was like, listen, I could make it really crazy and have my synths going over it, but I could just like put it on my sampler and then just like fuck around with it there. And then I only have the mic and the sampler. Way easier. And let Christian fill the void. Yeah.
I mean, he's so fucking talented. And plus he has that whole pad set up.
Exactly. And we've been like putting weird stuff on there. I think we also, I don't know, some of the stuff is kind of goofy, but we definitely like put like the Sophie snare on there, of course, and shit like that. And it's been so fun.
That's going to be a neat project to see where it goes.
I'm excited.
It's really good. I didn't know if I would like it or not, because I don't know, I'm not a huge electronic fan. I'm one of those like daytime electronic fans where like I only know the very popular shit.
Like who? Who's
like the fucking ones in the movies, like Zed, Skrillex. I'm like that guy. I'm like, I don't know shit.
That's fair.
But I've seen them all. I've worked a bunch of them. But it's just like at the end of the day, in my brain, I'm just like, okay. But I like that you're adding the human element to it. I'm not so much of a fan of just like the constant bombardment of noises without instrumentation. But y'all, like Lab and Ultra, you have real instruments plus the digital. You're just like adding something else to it.
Yeah. I'm glad it went well. Like,
it did go.
So we got hit up. Like, the reason that we did that first show so quick is because I got hit up for like a pretty cool band for Lap, and we couldn't do it. And I was like, selfishly, I still want to play this. So I was like, Christian, we got like enough songs, but we didn't like rehearse them or added any vocals. And we had like maybe like a month to a month and a half to just get show ready.
To just grind it.
And usually with bands, I like to just take my time and get tight. And when we play, have like a big first impression and it sounds, and we're all like tight and together. That's what I like. But also, a hard deadline is really good for me too. If I have some pressure, it's gonna motivate me. Like I need a little bit of pressure. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep tinkering. You know what I mean?
Literally was having this conversation yesterday with my bandmates. Like we have to set a date, or we're never gonna do this shit.
So we had like basically a month. Then I was doing like the Texas tour with Lap. So I was like, I need to get all the lyrics and the vocals done. It was actually really cool. It's my first time playing there. Booking out of town shows has been so easy because I just like hit up my like other like trans people I know on the internet, and we're like friends, and they're all in cool bands, and they're like, yeah, of course, please come, and they're excited about it. And then we have a place to stay, and everyone like has like I don't know, it just has gone really well and been really positive. Like we've never played a bad out of town show.
Now that's fucking something.
Which is awesome.
Wow. If only.
So yeah, fingers crossed that keeps doing that. But
I think I've only played like 3 good ones.
Really?
Well, it's always it's always like, well, the opener quit and they're the local, so no one's gonna be. You're playing in front of 3 people in fucking Bossier City.
Bruv.
Yeah.
No, like the first one we did was just like a short little we've just been doing mini runs, which have been easy to like dip your toes in.
Yeah.
But each time they end, I'm like, we could do longer.
Do y'all have plans for longer? Like, getting into like the weeks and months of.
Maybe not months, but hopefully like week-long ones at some point.
Right.
Caleb just got a new job, so like it's gonna be a little bit till he can get time off. So we've been doing the weekend thing, but we were talking about it with me and Christian's project. It's just 2 of us. We can take one car. It'll be so easy.
Honda Civic and save all the money.
So I'm like, all right, let's go.
That's incredible. A 2-piece, and it's just a drum kit. And he doesn't even have a big drum kit.
Exactly.
Pack it down real small and a bag of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. It's like, it feels too easy. Like, it
It's
feels
like a cheat
we're
code.
cheating. Yeah. Yeah. But it's been good. I've been really enjoying it. The first little tour thingy we did was like, we played Memphis because we couldn't get a Fayetteville date. Like, for some reason, Fayetteville was like really hard to book for a second. I feel like I could do it now that I know people, but at first it was just kind of rough. So we played Memphis instead. Memphis was awesome.
Was it a house show?
It was this place called Lamplighter, which I hear
Oh,
could
yeah.
be hit or miss, but like it was a hit just because of the people we played with.
Right.
And it's really cool because it feels like a house show at a bar. Like, they just let you do it all. And so I had a good time. And that one we did was Second Life because they were having a hard time hitting some of the cities we were playing. So I just told Matt and Will that I'd help them do it.
Right.
So I booked that one for our bands, and it went really well.
Hell yeah.
Our bands don't sound alike, but
Nowhere near it.
I think it's cool because of that, a little variety.
It's my favorite. Variety is how I like
it's
it.
It's weird because like Lap's in that thing where we're not really like heavy, but we're not really like not heavy.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're in that
It's
weird
not
middle
heavy,
space. But we'll always get put on shows with hardcore bands.
I call it the Acides burn effect. You don't know where you belong. You belong everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
That's kind of what it feels like sometimes, but it's kind of fun to be the weird one sometimes. But,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll play these shows with these hardcore bands because, like, Stan will put us on, or, like, Matt or Will hit us up. And, like, everyone will be moshing and going crazy for, like, their band. And then when our band comes, they all are just, like arms folded, just kind of like blank face, looking really. And I'm like, dude, they hate
every
us.
My Hands to War show ever.
Oh my God, these people hate us.
No, they don't hate you.
Then afterwards, they're like, oh my God, that was so
Yes.
good. And they're super sweet, but they just don't know how to look like they're enjoying music without it being violent or something. And I'm like, guys, come on, just give me something.
A head nod.
Like, just
a
some
toe
sign
tap.
that you do like me so that I feel like okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise I get so anxious.
I used to perpetually think no one liked My Hands to
Man,
War
I'm just
because of
like
that. But then somebody explained it to me, and I was like, oh, they're like, yeah, this isn't moshing music. This is music you experience.
Exactly.
They're just watching. They're having a great time. And the room's full of people, so duh, you know. But sometimes your brain doesn't connect the dots so well.
Exactly.
You put it on yourself, and you're like, oh, they don't like me.
I'm just really neurotic and anxious sometimes, and I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm like the most awkward front person. So I figured out a way to just not talk. Like, I'll get up there and be like, oh, you know, thanks for coming out. I'll say the things. I'll be sweet and let them know that I appreciate all this stuff. And then we'll play, and I'll like do these like weird interludes on my sampler between songs to kind of make it all one cohesive thing, which I love to do. But also it means that I don't have to say anything.
Amen, sister. Amen.
Yes.
That's why we bought the sampler we have. It's
Really?
like, well, I'm going to just say it out loud. Todd is not the best at banter. He's gotten
really?
better, but in the early days, he was fucking atrocious. And I was like, we have to make it where you don't say much other than we have merch in the back, which we never do.
Oh my
Or like, you know.
I need to give a mic to Caleb so that he can tell people we have merch, because I forget every time.
It's like you need a checklist. Play this song. Mention merch on the set list. Yeah.
Yes. I need to like bring it out with me next time and really sell it. I'll make it like a commercial between song. I'll be like, oh, we got this tape. And I'll just,
bring it on stage.
Yes,
Yeah.
Give it a little pitch and everything.
Well, I've got your attention.
Because that'll at least give me something to talk about. Because then I'll like, yeah.
And you have something physical you can manipulate. And if you're down to give one away, you'd be like, here, and you just throw it. That's always killer.
Yes. Tapes are so cheap. You could do that. People love tapes.
What's a tape cost to make? $1? I mean, it's got to be not much, right?
People love them. I don't even have a tape player. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just don't have one.
They just want something physical as a human.
Yeah. And they look really cute.
I don't necessarily, yeah. And each band has kind of like their own vibe, or they'll do a see-through, or you know, so that all the different colors you can have now, because technology is
awesome.
way past what it was back in the day, where everything was just clear with white writing on it. Yeah, cassettes are dope. Just, I want to hold something. I want to know that something with my money, because I worked very hard for my money that I bought to support somebody, actually means something. You know, yayo. Rev you up, bring you back down.
Yeah.
So how do you get into electronica music? I don't even know how old you are.
I'm like 28. I know I look younger because of the
Yeah.
hormones, but I don't know. I've always gravitated towards electronic music. Like when I was growing up, I was obsessed with New Order. They were my favorite bands.
But
New
how
Order.
do you find something like that, being young and in small town?
I mean,
Was it a
New
TV
Order's
show or
always
something?
playing on something.
Fair.
Like you could hear Blue Monday on anything.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
true.
Just from then on, I like got into it, and that's how I discovered like weird post-punky stuff, because like Joy Division, and then just kind of like
Joy Division
came off from that, and then got really into weird 80s music. So 80s music always has like a soft spot for me.
Well, that's when all that stuff was really.
And also, when I was in high school, like my favorite band in the world was like Crystal Castles. I was super. I mean, I know they're like problematic now, but like Crystal Castles was like.
I don't know. I don't even know if I've heard that.
Crystal Castles.
I don't know.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll look it up.
So Alice Glass, she's iconic. She's amazing. She's not problematic. She's fine. She's still doing music. I got to see her like a year ago, and it was incredible.
She's doing it by herself.
Yeah, she's got like a solo thing with the guy who was he was in that band Health. His name's like Jupiter.
Oh, okay.
And Health's another band I really, really love. They're like another favorite band for me. I don't know. I just was like always listening to that. I liked something about it. And it's really interesting now. Like, so like trans women have always been involved in electronic music. Like Wendy Carlos, like she helped like pioneer the Moog synth, like the Moog, like the guy, he made it, but then she was like, well, I see you're doing this, but you could make it better and more user friendly.
Interesting.
And did all that stuff. And she did like the soundtrack for like all those Kubrick movies that were really big.
Oh, I love Kubrick movies.
So you probably heard her music.
Absolutely. I've seen every one of his films.
Really super influential on it. And then now even currently, like Sophie, she like pioneered like pop music. Awesome. Like, and like the stuff that she did with like Charlie and like PC music has really shaped the way that I feel like pop music is right now. Like the kind of like the landscape, and then like it's kind of like birthed like hyperpop and shit like that.
Hyperpop. We're on hyperpop now, Kurt. Did you know about hyperpop?
Everybody knows. No. But I don't know, and even like with stuff like that, like 100 Gex, like Laura
100 Gex I've heard of.
Yeah, I know people either love or hate them, but I do love them. And I get why people don't, but it's just fun. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to remove the hate of certain styles of music. I used to be, very
like
staunch.
Everything people don't like. It's like over the top, auto-tuned, pitch-shifted vocals.
Which I would not probably be something I would be into.
But it makes sense that like trans women have been involved in that, because it's like a lot of us like feel dysphoric about our voices. So if you just modulate the fuck out of it and put all these things through it, it can sound however you want it to sound.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Craft the
thing.
And
it becomes its own like unique thing. And weirdly now people who aren't trans are doing that, because they're like, oh, whoa.
What's catching on? So the thing whatever got pioneered by whoever, and then somebody else likes it and they run with it. I mean, that's music as a whole.
Christian was joking around with me, but I think we broke a glass ceiling, because I think maybe I'm the first trans woman on this podcast.
Oh yes, yeah. That was we were talking about that at the what the fuck? Where were we? Oh, it was Ultra Show.
Yeah.
Now that I work at Vino's, I'm like, I'm really fucked up now.
They all run together.
They all run already. It's only been a few weeks, and I'm just like, oh shit. It's every other night.
That last show of Vino's though, did Christian tell you about like what had happened? So I like walk into the show, and this guy comes in. He like opens the door for me, and he's kind of like touching on me and being kind of creepy.
What?
And Philip and all the people like are like, hey, like, are you? Like, they're like looking out because they see that this guy is just like basically harassing me. And then
at Vino's?
Yeah, he's like, so are you? And I was like, what? And he's like, so are you? You know? And I was like, what? And he kept being like, so like, you know, are you? And I just acted like oblivious. And finally he was like, so are you like a lady? And I was like, yes. And he was like, well, you never know these days. You'll be like talking to a girl for like 3 weeks and then find something else out. If that ever happens, I would kill her. And I'm just like, and I'm just like, I quickly like swerve that guy, get out. And then like, I tell like Philip, because he had seen it, and apparently that dude had also like brought a gun to the show.
This was at your show?
No, at the last one, Any Given Room. It was the
The guy with the gun.
Yeah, I was the guy with the gun.
Oh, shit. Well, he was also, I heard something about that.
That
like,
was crazy.
Already it was a problem. And then they tell me, and I'm like, you got to tell me beforehand. Like, I will grab a gun right out of somebody's fucking hands. I don't give a shit. Shoot me.
For real. And like,
but apparently he was fucked up on drugs too.
Yeah,
they said he was like really, like, it was really strange.
Weird.
That's
it was really bizarre, and it was okay. I was fine. I'm tough. Like I'm,
sure. But still,
like,
that's fucking weird. What the
like,
fuck?
Oh, no.
Hey, have you tried the pizza? You should go get some pizza.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
It was
God
so
damn.
awkward though.
That's awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. When? When you first got there?
I got there a little late because like.
So the hip hop was going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently no one knew the guy. To my knowledge, he was like a rando, and that's always how it goes.
Yeah.
I feel like some weird person comes and ruins it for everyone.
Yeah, they're trying something place they've never been, and Vino's or all the venues, the small venues, are definitely places where people they're always there. It's the same people all the time. That's fucking crazy. What the fuck? I had no idea.
I'm used to dealing with weird dudes at shows, but like that was
That's
like
a little extra.
It was like right when I walked in the door, I was like, oh my god.
You just not today, Satan. Just can I have today?
Yeah. Not prepared.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, next time, come find me. What the
I
fuck?
will. It's okay.
Jeez.
But I handled it the best I could.
Yeah, no, it seems like you probably did the right thing, especially if you had a gun, because it's best just to like de-escalate, over-escalate when those situations. Unless they threaten to stab you, right, Kurt?
Wait, did you get threatened?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. In the parking lot. Old-fashioned fun.
That's some Little Rock shit.
He stepped on my shoe. Stab. No. It really was.
Gosh.
It was like literally something that minuscule and dumb.
That's crazy.
Sometimes shit pops off, and you put a bunch of people in a room, they're all hot. So heat does something to us. It cooks us. Yeah. Also that person's first time at Vino's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was really funny though playing at Vino's, speaking of it being hot, because like the first show that we did with Ultra, it was like outside and it was rough because it was like over 100 degrees, like no shade, dying. So we were like, well, at least next week we're inside. It's gonna be air conditioned. It'll be better. No, it was not.
It's worse.
It was rough. That was crazy. Did I tell you about our first show? What happened?
Mm-mm.
So I like show up to the venue. I'm running a little bit late, which is not always great. I like to be more on top of it. But anyway, I get there and he's like, we should do it outside. And I'm already like, okay, I'm ready. We can do it. If that's what you want to do, I can handle it. But it would be so nice to have air conditioning. So I'm like, all right, so where should we set your PA up? And he goes, oh, I thought you were bringing the PA.
Get the fuck
So
out
it's
of
like my first show, no PA. I booked this for this like bigger touring bands, and I'm just like, oh no, this is like a nightmare situation. So I was like, maybe I'll call Jackson for the community PA.
Yeah.
Doesn't answer. I understand he's busy, so I'm like, you know what? I don't have time to like wait around. We just drive back to our practice space, get the practice space PA, set it up, and just like make it work.
Damn.
And we somehow recovered, and the show didn't even start late. We started on time.
Nice.
And it ended up being amazing and incredible, but it was not. It was like our first show, and then on top of that, all of that stuff. And I was like, but like I didn't even have time to be nervous anymore about our set because I was just like, how do I make the show work?
Yep.
So
sometimes it makes it better that way because then you can get all that frustration out on the stage, and it makes it like elevates. One of the best practices I've ever had is when someone like leaves the band. If you stay together, the best practice is like right after that because you're so, what the fuck? Just beating the shit out of everything, throwing fuck this and blah blah, and it's like but Yeah, makes good music. It's like, man, I wish there was 1,000 people in front of us right now. It'd be crushing.
See, I'm in bands now where we all get along so well, and I don't know if I could go back to the stressful, angry bands.
Oh, I know. I mean, we all get along now. It just took a lot of years.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's been me too.
And then the other band I'm in was my wife. And
Yeah,
one of our
like,
like best friends.
perfect.
It's super simple, and we're super chill. Like no one. It's like, hey, I can't do practice this week. Cool, whatever.
No worries.
You know, no
yeah.
worries. But we are gonna start booking some shows soon, so
We should play some
might
shows
hit you up.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, we need something. It's been too long.
Yeah.
We took a break to record, and then our guitar player's grandpa, which is like his dad, he passed away, and it was like
Oh.
this whole thing. And
Yeah,
now it's been
that's real.
way forever since we've played because we didn't want to play to record
Yeah,
and write, and now we're like, we should play some shows.
I gotcha.
We'll record later. It's been too long.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting though.
It is exciting. I'm excited for people to hear the new shit too.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's kind of like you said, it's just working itself out. We're still fine tuning the process and
Yeah.
getting our sound.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it'll come once you play more.
Oh, I think playing more shows will help. That's what I
Definitely.
tell everyone. If you ever want to
I
be
think
better,
that helped Lap because we were like, we'll never say no to an idea. We're
Right.
always trying crazy shit. But after playing shows, we're like, okay, this is what works. Like,
Yes.
we can't be just doing everything all the time.
yeah. If you want to be the best version of yourself, go on tour.
And sometimes
You'll
we'll
come back just
yeah.
unbelievably tight. And you'll understand what works because like music and comedy and all that stuff, you get immediate reactions. So the song, everyone's like, yeah. And then some songs are like,
Yeah.
if it's like, shit.
But even now, the complicated stuff, we're trying to find a way to make it work easier. Because, okay, so Pinhole, our guitarist, he works at this like guitar shop in North Little Rock, and
Renown.
Yeah.
Shout out Renown.
So he's always getting weird gear from there, and been like, we should try this. And his latest thing was he got this weird old like vintage drum machine that sounds awesome. And the problem was though they don't have the memory cards for it anymore because it is like old.
Ancient. Yeah.
So he couldn't save any of them. So he was like making this drum loop, putting it on his guitar loop pedal, and now it's translated to he put the loop from the drum machine to his loop pedal that I put onto my sampler. And
What
then
the
fucked
fuck?
with. And it's just getting crazy, but it's fun.
Fucking in a few years, it'll be like, and then I downloaded to my brain. Yeah.
Yes, but it's fun. I don't know.
You just have a web over the top of your head.
I finally figured out this sampler. It's like the SP404. I don't know if you know much about samplers. This is like one of the cool ones. Like a lot of producers have used this one. Have you heard like the new JPEG Danny Brown album?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so somehow they made the entire album on this sampler.
Wow.
So I was like, me and Christian were getting super into it, and we were like, okay, we
A
have
whole
to figure
record
out
on a
this
single device? Damn.
And it sounds awesome because it's basically like its own instrument because you can just put all these effects on it, like switch the
Manipulate
BPM,
everything.
make it to its own weird thing, and like fuck with it.
I
And
get so
love
lost.
that.
I get so lost in
I
that.
have so much fun with it. I don't know.
I've tried, which mine is like sitting at my iPad, a GarageBand, because it has that like, it's got a section in the GarageBand that's just for that, just for
Yeah.
building tunes, and I'm like,
Well,
it's not for me.
sometimes with like a DAW or like Logic or GarageBand, it's like you're saying, it's just too many options, and
Billions
I get
of
like
options.
it's just like my brain is scrambled. I can't figure
Yeah.
out. There's too many things. But if I have like something that I can put my hands on, it like simplifies it and feels way more intuitive. So then we can just do it on that and then put it into the computer. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And that's kind of how we've been doing it.
That makes way more sense, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it limits you in a good way.
I need that.
Yeah.
Like you put me on a 500-piece drum kit, I'm gonna play 3 things. You put me on 3
It's
things,
too much.
and I'll be able to make that sound like 500 things. I got the most compliments in my life when I switched to like, it was floor tom, snare, kick, and hi hat and crash ride. That's it.
Yeah.
No rack tom, no extra tom, no nothing. And you have to make that sound. You're playing metal music, so you got to make it sound like a big drum set. You know, you're working on grabs and pushing toms and doing neat stuff, and you would never do that if you just had another drum to facilitate.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I gotta
Good
find old
limitations.
piece of hardware and start screwing around with that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yes.
So do y'all have plans for more shows for any of your act? Like, you got what's coming up?
We've got like maybe one show booked. We were gonna play possibly one with some cool bands like out of town, but I don't know if it's gonna pan out. We were gonna play with the Mall, which they're like one of my favorite bands, so I was super stoked on it. But we kind of are taking a break on shows outside of that to just like figure out recording stuff.
Right, you said that earlier. Yeah.
We're just trying to get it down. But with Ultra, we've got like one show coming up like August 2nd that I'm super stoked about, and then another one August 11th.
Oh. Yeah, well, I'm doing shit both those days. What's the August 11th one?
That one is in Fayetteville. We're playing
okay.
like a house show with Always Tired and another band from Texas that's really cool. Love the guys in Always Tired. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
They're sweethearts.
That's what's up.
We were having so much trouble booking a show, and somehow they like helped us essentially. And
what, just in Fayetteville? Yeah.
The last show we played with them, they were like, we didn't even bring our merch. We just wanted to, like, everyone to buy your stuff. And they were just like super cool. And we just like got to hang out with them after the show for a while.
Isn't that the best?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, new besties.
I love the after show hang. If it's, sometimes now shows are going to like midnight. And I'm just like, I'm too old to hang out.
I always get roped into it because I'm bad at saying nope, and also I'm bad at leaving. So I'll be like trying to make my way out, and they'll be like,
Southern
let's
goodbye.
Go do this thing.
It's 30 minutes long.
Yup. I think like the last show we played in Texas, I told the person who booked it I was leaving like 4 times.
Absolutely.
And then just kept coming back because like run into something.
but dad, yeah. Your
Yeah.
cousin does that? Well, who's your cousin? Fuck.
Yeah.
Just roped into it.
I'm bad at it.
I think that's a cultural thing. Don't you? Like that long goodbye is just, that's so uniquely the South.
That's true. I kind of love the South though. Like all the shows we played in the South, I feel like it brings out like, I don't know, I feel like people almost work harder because it's like we don't have as much.
Right.
And especially like playing it as like a queer person, like the scene seemed really tight knit for like the queer community when we play in like the South, because
for sure
we'll like like when we played Springfield the whole time there, I was like, dude, I'm gonna get hate crimes like in the bath, like it was rough. And like it's just we described it as like when you want to get to Springfield or like St. Louis, you have to drive through like the racist woods and then you get to the cool place.
Yeah.
But when we got there, everyone was so cool, and it was like one of the best scenes I've ever played in, and like it was overwhelmingly queer and like positive and cool.
Right.
And I felt like very at home, so it was cool.
Yeah, well, you have to find each other when it's like the smallest group, right? So you have to find a spot that's yours and you can be there, and
exactly
that makes sense. I mean, and then you all find each other, and then across the South, of course, like you said, it's like the most minimal.
For sure.
So you got to be tight knit. Otherwise, you're not going to have anything at all because of these 4 people hate these 8 people. You're kind of fucked now.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you just build from that. Just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like playing the South too, but just because it's closer to home.
That is also true.
Yeah. It's like you're never more than like, I mean, if you're down in Florida, you're a hell of a way from home. But
I think that I just can't play Florida. Like it's illegal for me to go to the bathroom in Florida. And like
right.
the laws going on right now are like scary, and I'm just like, nah.
Just skip it.
I know it sucks, but I feel like it just can't go there
because it is beautiful there. It's a fucking beautiful place to be.
It's stressing me out a little bit. Some of the stuff happening right now, so I'm like, okay, we got to find where we can play.
Right.
I remember we were gonna play when we played in Memphis. They had just passed or tried to pass the thing with like the drag bands, and they like classified it in a way that it essentially encompassed trans people. And like the person from the venue was like, hey, just so you know, like if someone did call, you would get fined and possibly arrested
for playing a concert.
Because it's considered like an adult only thing that you have to be like 18.
So you can only play like a 21 and older venue or something, like a bar.
Exactly. Isn't that insane?
That doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Okay.
Love it.
Yay! Wait, make it harder.
But yeah, we don't have to get into that. It's a bummer, but shit's crazy right now.
That's weird that they would. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to wrap your head around something in a moment's hard to do, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sucks. So like all the states are doing this?
Essentially, there's like a shit ton of anti-trans legislation, anti-queer legislation being pushed, and right now, especially in the South, like a lot of them are like the same bills, just like they just like copy it essentially.
Copy and paste the bill, yeah. So all the same.
Like they get somehow rushed in, and like I don't know, it's pretty crazy. And they're trying to say like there's certain places where you can't like get on HRT unless you like do all these crazy requirements and like I don't know, it's really bad right now, honestly. But trying my best to just
keep it going, stay positive.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I can empathize with that. Just like staying positive is just
like
don't give up, keep fighting the good fight,
sure.
that kind of shit.
All I would say is just like if you have queer friends or trans friends, just like be supportive and try and be aware of what's going on so you can be supportive. But that's all I would really say. Just know that it's a rough time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then weird shit like whatever happened at Vino's, like that too.
Yeah, I've run into like I don't know, playing in Arkansas is weird. Being like okay, also playing shows as a girl is weird, but then playing shows as a trans girl is another layer of weird.
Right.
And we'll like go to set up,
especially when it's like a predominantly dude heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, metal has been just a sausage fest for so long. It's just dude.
We'll
it's
go
just
to the show. And I'll go to set up my gear.
It's all archaic, grumpy, just violent. It's been the same for so long.
Because like I'll go and like set up my gear to sound check, and they'll like assume that I don't know how to play any of my gear that I specifically bought.
What, like the sound people?
Yeah, and they'll be also kind of mad because they'll be like, "Oh, this isn't just another guitar, bass, like drums."
Yo, when you're bringing 20 DIs, the sound guy's like, fuck you.
But I've even made it easy on them because I have my mixer and I can just give them the one thing and control the levels myself, so that it's like I'm really making it easy.
They get instantly
but they're just
defensive.
mad.
Yes.
And like we'll play shows where they'll just like totally turn my synth off or like
what?
Totally turn the sampler off. Turn it down so it's inaudible, and then since like our music, like we have to follow the synth line in certain parts, we'll be playing it and we'll be like,
where is it?
yeah, I don't know. We'll just like do our best to get through it, and we'll all feel like it was like the worst set, and then people will be like, no, you guys are good, but I'm just like, it's rough.
Oh, the translation. Sometimes you'll have the worst show in your life, and people are like, man, that was awesome. You're like, for fucking who? Well, I think because we're doing this for ourselves too. It's very self thing. Like I want to play the music. I'm glad you're here, but I would have played the same show if no one was here.
Yeah, for sure. But luckily, the sound guys now are super sweet, and I especially love when we play Whitewater. That guy's amazing. And then last show we played was the guy Josh Delac, and he was also incredible and really sweet. And then when Jackson does it too, he's really good. So it's like I know the certain people. I'm like, okay, I can breathe a sigh of relief because like. It's one of our friends doing it, and they got us.
The sound guy position is very thankless and doting. The early days, every sound guy I knew was the same guy. Bitter, just mad at the whole fucking
and they're
world.
Pissed off,
already.
And you're like, dude, I'm sorry.
And it ain't you. They came to work mad as fuck.
Yes.
I promise.
And then it's like they see that you don't have just a guitar, and they're even more mad. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I promise, it's okay.
I just want to play the thing. I'll do whatever I can to make it not suck for you.
But luckily, like Christian is really good with sound stuff. So if I ever get flustered, he's always like, "Oh, you just
right."
And
that's me to Justin. Justin, one thing goes out for Justin, and he just shuts off. He's like, unplug it all. Justin, no. Look, the cord came out. Click.
Yes.
The on-stage meltdowns are the best. I've had a few myself.
Yeah.
Where just the whole night just fucking.
I miss when I was
stinks.
I miss when I was just a vocalist because it was so easy. I feel like it was like you just come in,
it's like,
don't have any gear.
Oh.
You just like
do
your little check.
Click.
Yeah.
Oh, let me grab my microphone.
It's like the princess position. Yeah.
The standard like it's cliche vocalists, like they lift the hardest job. Most vocalists nowadays do help. There was like that lead singer syndrome. That was a fucking real thing. It still
never
is.
Had that. Luckily,
I didn't understand what built it though until I started lame Johnny and being the front person in a band, and then I was like, oh fuck, people, that's all they want to talk to is the person putting out the words.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because as a drummer, no one gives a fuck. They might walk by and be like, good set, man.
I'm just bad at being a front person, but like I'm tall and I have pink hair and I'm the front person, so people gravitate, and they're like, it was so good. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
and I have nothing else to contribute.
It's
I'm
like you
always just
highlighted yourself. Yeah.
Thanks.
Great job. Thank you.
And I have nothing else to like. I gotta like come up with a few things that I can say to make it more of a conversation, so I'm not just like, thanks.
You know, I've heard a great piece of advice. I listen to a shitload of podcasts. Like, there was I can't remember who it was or what band they were in. I think it might have been, no, I thought it was maybe Silverstein. Doesn't matter. Ask them about their self.
Okay, that's
it immediately takes the focus off of you, and it makes a bond with the person. And then you can just riff on that one thing and be like, well, hey, yeah, thanks for coming out. I've got to go pack up. It was super nice to meet you. And choop. Yeah, because it immediately because they know you. That's the problem. It's like with this. Somebody comes up to me, they've heard me talk for 1,000 hours already.
Yeah.
But I'm just meeting them. So it's better to ask something about them, so now we have a roadmap of conversation.
I feel that.
It works tremendously well. And honestly, all the people I've worked with over the years that do that exact thing to myself, I'm like, they get it. And it works. Because you're like, oh shit, yeah, no, I'm in this band, or oh, I play drums, or Trey Cool from Green Day did that.
Okay, I know this is so bad, but I'm not into Green Day, and everyone here loves Green Day.
Blasphemy!
And like, there's like everyone will like talk about like the history of Green Day playing in like Vino's, and like they're like, oh, Green Day,
and they're so punk rock.
They're like Jeff Matika,
it's like modern
Green Day,
punk rock,
and I don't know. I just
doesn't click. Some things don't click. Listen, you can't be a fan of everything.
Yeah.
And people who are
not into Green Day.
Yeah. What punk band are you into that's like, if it was like a mainstream, like Blink, or are you more of like on the Blink side?
I definitely did grow up listening to Blink a little bit, and I used to like play guitar, but really I just had like a Blink-182 tabs book, so I feel like I just learned how to play like Blink-182 and not guitar. And at this point, no matter like where I'm at, if someone hands me a guitar, I can just play Damn It real quick, and that's it. Like I've got like the campfire chords and Damn It. I'm not a guitarist. That's all I can do.
It's funny what sticks on guitar. All my old stuff was like Metallica, Nirvana, but it was never the song. I can't play a whole song of somebody else's, except for when we do like these cover songs, and then they'll immediately just leave my brain.
I've done a cover song. I want to do a cover stuff. Like for like Halloween, I want to do a cover set, but I can never get it together.
What would you cover being in a...
I really want to do like either like New Order, or like I really want to do like Blood Brothers. That'd be my dream.
I feel like that would actually get you some attention, because the Blood Brothers were oddly popular for a very short amount of time in music history.
Okay, so in high school, I was growing up, going to shows downtown, all hardcore bands, you know what I mean?
Right.
All hardcore bands, tough guy bands, like Terror, Backtrack, all those.
All Emir.
And always playing that. I just like couldn't connect with it. And as like a queer person, I got really into like that genre, like sass, that I guess Blood Brothers is kind of sort of like, because it felt very like more overtly like, I don't know, more like gay friendly, I guess.
For sure. I get what you're saying.
Like, so I really loved like Blood Brothers, like all those like sass bands from that time. I don't know.
A sass band?
Yeah, you never,
okay. I haven't heard that expression before.
You probably listened to the bands. Honestly,
I know Blood Brothers, because two people I used to hang out with were massive Blood Brothers fans. And I was like, what the fuck are we listening to?
But yeah, like that was my shit. I grew up listening to like that, like sass. It was like essentially just like they took post-hardcore and they made it way more flamboyant, and they did all the things that everyone was like, don't do. And it was mostly like queer people doing it. Like,
you're 100% right. Yes,
and
that all checks out.
I don't know. I was super into it, and it felt like relatable.
What was another sass band? I'm fascinated with this term.
I really loved like Hot Hot Heat, Red Light Sting. They did like really cool like split together. I really used to love.
We're learning, Kurt.
The
Sasscore.
It was like the plot to blow up the Eiffel Tower was another one that was super sick.
That was a band?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was crazy. It was so cool. And I'm trying to think of other ones. that you might know, but there's like a weird resurgence where people are doing
There's
that,
always a resurgence.
but they're adding like metalcore shit to it. So now you got like Sea Space Cowboy and shit like that. And,
I know that band. Yeah.
And people like, I don't know. I feel like a younger crowd is getting into it. And I've been talking to people, and it's really interesting that Zoomers are like discovering these genres, and they're just like getting the aesthetic and then just doing
their own thing. Yes.
And it's kind of cool, kind of crazy though. Like I'll play with the band, and it'll sound like a band I listened to in high school, and they're like really into it.
I mean, that's how we got heavy, like the heavy that we have today. It was a bunch of kids who grew up doing like 80s, and they would just cover 80s songs, but it just wasn't enough. And then you get shit like Pantera, and then after that, because they're like stupid heavy, and then you get Slipknot, and they're like the famous bands, and then the underground was just cranking out just ass beater bands for the last 30 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not into tough guy stuff really. I
get
so
it.
bad. Like I can get down to it sometimes.
It's hot and sweaty.
Like, I don't know. You can't, it's not for me. I'm not that tough.
It's hard to age in that genre.
And it's
too.
really funny because like I'm dating Rachel, and she's so into the hardcore.
Yeah.
And like I'll hang out with all those hardcore dudes, and like I get it, but like it's just not.
Feel like a wallflower. Yeah.
But like I respect it, and they're all having a blast, and they're all doing cool shit.
They're having a blast,
and like the hardcore scene right now is so big.
It's
and, like,
it's the thing.
Up.
It's the thing. Its moment is now. You know
exactly. But
there's
it's
a fucking hardcore band touring with Blink-182 right now. Like it doesn't get bigger than that. That is the top of the fucking castle.
I remember though, you would just go see all the bands that are big now, and they just used to be like the opener. Like I saw Turnstile like 10 times on accident, and now they're like the biggest band. You know,
literally the biggest fucking band
because they just used to tour all the time, and like
Well, and there's something attractive to like that. I think it's the vocalist. His cadence and the way he puts
They've found a way to make it like catchy and kind of poppy in a cool way, I think. And I like all the bands that are like taking the hardcore stuff and they're kind of like trying something new with it, or they're like making it not just like thrashy tough guy riffs. You know what I mean?
Which, sucker for a thrashy riff, but I get why and where it's going. It makes sense. It makes sense that it would commercialize itself. Well, everything does.
Dude, no. Rachel just saw like Trapped Under Ice again, and they're like playing and like big again, and it's
that's crazy. So crazy. Where does Swancore fit into that?
I don't know.
Well, you mentioned sass, and I think high pitch.
My favorite scenecore bands was definitely Dance Gavin Dance. I was really into the noodly guitars.
Downtown Battle Mountain.
Yes, that was my shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
It was fucking pretty cool.
I was super into that. My favorite was the guy Kurt Travis, like the middle era. That was my fave.
Right.
And then the newest guy I haven't really got super into, and I know that like now there's like allegations and it's
it's a whole thing for them now. Yeah.
I don't know, but like it's cool because there is like a whole sound of people who just grew up listening to that and making weird mathy guitars.
It's like it's math rock, but with like these crazy high pitched vocals.
Yes.
I don't know how they do it,
but like I love pop music, so as a kid I was like, okay, I can get down with this.
I mean, it's accessibility. It really is, and but
I don't know if I'm into the modern iterations of it as much. I think I've just aged out of it. And I feel bad. But
same.
It's just not for me anymore.
Sometimes you just realize you're like, wow, it's like now when I go to shows, I'm like
10 years ago, but like,
and it's like, it's a little loud, shit, it's a little loud. You don't realize sometimes when you self-analyze, you're like, oh fuck, and you see your parents saying the same shit when you were young, and you're like, why would you ever say that? And you're like, fuck, I'm you now.
That was okay. I was in one band that everyone loved, Dance Gavin Dance. I don't know if it was like a Swancore band, but that was like our thing, and we all hung out and listened to Dance Gavin Dance and made music. And that one, like, weirdly, we started playing around a lot. It kind of fizzled out because we couldn't get along with our guitarist. But that one.
What was that one? What was the name of that one?
Okay, I'm really embarrassed of the band name. I didn't name it. I joined it later on because I was friends with them. But the band name was called like Poncho Casanova. It was a bad band name. But we played like with like As Cities Burn, and like we were playing with like I Was Afraid and like the Kembe and like Head Cold and a lot of bands.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was the one I did before Lap. That was I don't know. our stuff's still on Bandcamp, and I'm low key embarrassed sometimes. But like,
Pancho Casanova,
no,
go do it now.
But yeah, so that was that one. I feel like that's the most like scene core adjacent,
Right.
Yeah, band that I'd been in. But it was kind of fun for a time, for sure.
You know, that's what it all. Even the ones that in bands I was in that like didn't end the greatest, I still look back on it fondly. Try to keep all the messiness in it, you know.
And then like the other band I had before that, I still am like slightly nostalgic about, and that was I think the band that I played with you guys in Hot Mess, and I feel like we played the Hot Box together a few times, and places like that. That was called like Slow Panda.
Oh yeah, yeah. Whoa, fucking brain sparkles.
I
Yeah,
know.
Slow
we
Panda.
just did like twinkly emo riffs and screamy stuff.
Yep. Holy shit. We did play a few shows together.
Yeah.
Damn. Hell yeah.
Definitely another era.
It was a different time, for sure. I remember the first time we ever played up there was, remember before that place in Russellville opened, there was like, you played in like this, it was like outside in like a train depot.
Oh, the depot. Yeah. Definitely played there for crazy.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That was cool.
You're just like in this corridor.
Did you ever play Hollow House? That was also my favorite to play.
We played Hollow House one
was
time.
Fun.
Yep.
Pine Street, I always loved. I missed the era when it was like Hollow and Pine Street and all the house shows.
Played Pine
and there was
Street
just
before.
like a cool show you could go to every night.
It was all
and
the
it was
fucking
really
time.
accessible. Like they would do like donations or pay what you could, but all the bands would get a pretty good payout.
Yeah, they really would. And people would show
now
up.
it's like they're like, hey, 6 bands at Vino's, $25, and I'm like, dude, I'm broke.
It's just I
get it, but
I think
like,
a lot of that is the time. Everything's expensive as shit. Like just getting out of the house is a $20.
But sometimes they'll be like, hey, it's 10 death metal bands at Vino's for $30, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I feel so bad. Like it's cool if they're doing it, but I don't know.
If it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
It's not my thing.
And sometimes you come out to every now and then. I go to shows I don't, even before I started working there.
If my friends are going, I'll probably go.
Absolutely.
But still, I don't know.
You can't like
death metal's big right now. It's crazy.
It's all the heavy stuff seems to be really kicking
I'm
ass.
stoked on like that band with Evan in them though. They're like really blowing up.
Morbid Visions. Oh yeah.
Like
in like no time flat. Them. All of them, to be fucking fair.
What I think it is that everyone has been grinding forever and then took a break from the pandemic because,
right.
And now they're just following up on all the connections.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's all it is.
Everyone's open casket 1 year, boom, blowing up. Morbid Visions, like 1.5 year, boom, blowing up.
But like Dan and Evan and them have been booking shows forever.
Oh, forever. Since
okay,
they were
Zash
kids.
is crazy because like I'm a Cersei kid. Like I grew up in Cersei, so I get it. And like I was talking to them, and like we kind of connected over that. One of the members, I don't even remember their name, but like it's cool to see like Cersei is like weirdly popping off. Like I don't know when I.
Brotherton, maybe, and then so is Lucidium, and their children.
But see, I used to try and do like we did house shows in Cersei, and like it was just the Little Rock crowd. Just driving to Cersei, and I was like, okay, we could just play Little Rock.
The two shows I played there were at that laser tag place up at.
Oh my gosh! Lasercade. I saw Plea for Purging there, and awesome. 100th back in the day. It's awesome. Crazy.
I too was in a Christian band when I played there. It was called Truth Farm.
Oh man!
And we sounded like
dude. Speaking of Christian bands, I remember like My Children, My Bride just played here, which is crazy. Do you remember that era?
Oh yeah. Oh
I remember I saw them when I was a kid, and the guy preached for like 10 minutes between songs.
Oh my God,
and then I later found out, right after that tour, he kicked their guitarist out because he wasn't Christian.
Yeah. Oh, that was in the day where you get caught smoking a cigarette. You were out of here.
I'm like, dude.
That was a weird time for those bands. It's like the word. Yeah, that whole era was that stuff. You'd hear, and now you hear all these guys in interviews. They're like, man, you'd have to walk miles away just to smoke a cigarette. And if anyone caught you, they'd ban you from the venue. They wouldn't pay you. Like, so crazy.
That is crazy.
Like, we just want to.
And I'm like,
yes.
I couldn't do it with the Christian bands because like I was always gay, so I like just didn't. It didn't work out. Like I just like had all the religious trauma from growing up as a queer person in Cersei.
Right.
And I don't know. I didn't want to hear more Christian. I was just like, I can't.
Well, none of them stayed stayed.
True. Exactly.
None of them.
It was just a time and place. Yeah.
It was something where the youth.
I was like
coming
maybe not a Christian, just really into Under Oath. That was it.
And that's some of it too, which they're not now either. So and a lot of us aren't. But I think it was a changing in the times, and you saw a bunch of kids who were like, well, this is what I know, so this is what I'm going to sing about. We were all young.
That's
they were
true.
Teenagers. We were all teenagers. And then you grow up and you're like, wait, I don't want this actually.
Yeah.
So then, a lot of them either just break up, which, that was most of them.
I was talking to this with Christian. So that band Attack just played here.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I was just imagining, like, if my high school band blew up and I was just stuck playing bad metalcore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Yo, they're like the
so
Transformers for me. Attack Attack's a guilty pleasure for me. I'm not going to go watch whatever this is because I don't think it's Attack.
Yeah, but I definitely could get down to, like, Sunday Came Suddenly.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love the auto-tune. I love the synths.
I was a big fan of those first two records.
Okay, so right now, like, all the bands are cashing in on the scenecore stuff.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Like,
why wouldn't you?
I have a synthesizer. I'll be like, all right, guys, let's just make some synth breakdowns. Let's do it.
You would 100% have shows available to you. Yes.
You just, like, play a breakdown. I'll play a synth line over it. We get paid. Like.
Yep. Nostalgia is everything.
Yeah.
We'll just write some old school My Insta War songs you come play over time.
Yes,
We'll just play our old shit.
Yeah.
We had a keyboardist and everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. We had a laptop and a keyboard and oh my
With Attack though.
It was not a good band. It was we were learning.
Fair enough.
Talented but confused.
But I was also talking to someone about it and they were like, so Attack, like a lot of these guys apparently they just like played in bands young, didn't finish high school or go to college, and they're just like touring is their like way to make money. So essentially, like it isn't Attack, but it is an easy like cash grab if like a few members from it revamp it to tour.
It's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to condemn it because it's
people
like
will
that's
like
all they
get
know.
on it because nostalgia. Like
right.
people will go see them.
Nostalgia sells every time.
So, but it'd be a little sad. I'm not gonna lie to see it, but I get what they're doing. I guess. Like
I can respect the hustle, but I'm not gonna like.
Yeah,
I'm just
not gonna go pay $20 to see them at.
I saw them in the original times, and it was awesome. I got to play with them twice.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So it was fucking fun. Yeah, we played with them the last time we played with them. A girl got her spine broke.
Wait, what?
Like literally right in the middle of our set. She was crowd surfing, fell.
Oh my god!
Mosh pit person stomped right on her back. It was a complete accident. Like it was like wrong shit, wrong time. He was stomping already as she fell, and it was one of those like freak accident.
That's terrifying.
It wasn't malicious or anything. It was just a complete accident. Carted off to the ambulance. She tweeted, just broke my back at the My Hands to War show.
No.
And we don't find out till after because
exactly.
It was downtown music and the room was just packed full of people.
Kind of miss downtown sometimes.
Oh, all the fucking time. We need a place like that so bad. Another, 300, 400, like something that isn't Rev Room and something that isn't Vino's. Like the middle. We need a middle venue.
For sure. I definitely agree.
Because Rev Room's like 600 and Vino's is 175.
I've never played Rev Room. I just don't know if it'll happen because they're like, it's like the bigger shows.
Yeah.
But it's cool when I go sometimes and see it.
You'll have a time. You'll do it.
Maybe. We'll see.
Fingers
crossed.
But yeah, I would love to see like a 300 cap venue open up back here. I think it would be mad successful.
Something that's flexible from like 100 to 500.
If you could curtain off a section or something and make it,
sick.
It'd be the fucking best.
We just need more venues because, like, if you trying to book a show, it's like, okay, well, Venus is booked or not working out.
Yep.
Okay, Whitewater's booked. Where do you play?
That's it.
It's like
a house.
That's what I'm saying. But also, all the houses got shut down.
Yeah, or there was one venue that was going on. What was the place in the woods? Do you remember this place? Did you ever play the Woods? It was like at the end of a fucking dead-end street. Hot Mess played. And that's the only reason I know about this. And then you would take your gear. I thought we were going to just get fucking murdered. I'm not going to lie. And when you walk through the fucking woods and then it pops open and it's this guy's property that he had. There was one power outlet and a small little area, and he would just let bands play out there,
Okay.
and it was people would
Was it
camp
fun?
and start fires. It was fun as
That
shit.
sounds cool. I'd do it, I guess.
But
I'm gonna play.
I highly doubt it's still a thing. And then there was Nathan had that place where it was like
Yeah.
it was like a shop.
Yeah.
Remember that place?
That was Hotbox, right? Is that what you're talking
That's it, Hotbox.
So
Yeah.
apparently what happened with that one is one night some guy who no one really knew, a rando like always, he
Damn.
got really drunk and he hit every car on the way out. And
What
the
the
landlord
fuck?
immediately evicted them.
Damn.
And it just ruined it for everyone.
These fucking randos, man. I'm sick and fucking
you
tired
like,
of these fucking randos coming up and ruining our time, dude.
Yes, big fan of the voices. But Dedicated is fun too.
It's a
You just
scene out of a fucking movie. A guy just shows up drunk, just plows every car.
That's how it went. I would be so bummed. Like he had to move. Like he literally just had to move.
That sucks. Yeah, that place was awesome too.
Yeah, it was hot, as the name
Oh,
implied.
the
but it
name was
good.
apt.
But yeah, new spots. Dedicated. Have you guys played there yet? Dedicated Arts in North Little Rock. It's
Just was telling Kurt about it. We
Yeah.
just found out about it.
So that's like Jose's spot, and it's really cool. You just need to bring a PA. That's the only thing. But we
He's
have the
doing like
key.
a big long string of events coming
Yeah.
up, and I can say it now because it got announced today. But the wrestling thing that's been going on, Sleazy E, they're doing a no ring death match.
Okay.
And a death match. Are you familiar with wrestling? So
No, I don't know
I'm
anything about
diving into wrestling. The local wrestling is
I've
fucking
never
insane.
gone. I should
August
go.
12th.
Okay.
You will.
The
you
last
will,
show that we were playing was at the same time as the last wrestling. thing.
Yes.
And Stan had been like, "Hey,
This will be
can
the
this
day
band,
after.
like the Runts play?" And it was on the show that I had booked for Ultra, and I just couldn't do 5 bands, and I felt really bad. So they got on the wrestling thing, and it seems like they still had like a really good time. So I was really happy that that worked out.
the wrestling August 12th. So you're playing the 11th, the
Yeah.
12th.
Okay, if
At
I can make it
Vino's.
back in time.
It's unhinged chaos. It's the coolest shit.
Oh yeah.
But they're doing so a death match is there'll be a chair wrapped in barbed wire. The
fuck?
very first show I saw
Okay.
wrestling, there was a death match. This guy Sleazy E, and this is he's the same guy,
Sleazy,
Sleazy
okay.
E.
Love it.
And his T-shirt is the Little Caesars mascot with like a mullet. It says Little Sleazers. This
That's
guy's
beautiful.
amazing. His real name's Eli. He's a fucking gem of a human.
Okay.
But I watched this man like crotch level. Like I'm like filming him with the GoPro. We have it on tape, and dude takes a slice of Vino's pizza and staples it to his forehead. Actually.
What? Sorry, that's blowing my mind.
And then punches a joist hanger from a ceiling right into the fucking center of his forehead.
Jesus Christ.
And just blood everywhere. It's unbelievable.
Okay, that's kind of slate.
And they're doing that at that place.
At Dedicated.
They're doing a
Okay.
death match
Hell yeah.
in that dedicated
I'll try
spot.
and make it out then. That sounds fun. So I'm like not into wrestling, fighting stuff, but I have friends who are, and I feel like if I hang out with them,
They make it fun.
then I'll have a good time. Like the other day, it was like we had just done a session, me and Christian, hanging out, and he's like, "Natalie, I have to show you UFC," and I was like, "What?" He was like, "I have to show you." He's really gotten into UFC lately. Like him and Ollie, that's their thing. They've been really into UFC. So, he like gives me some candy, so I'm satisfied, and I just like hang out and eat candy as he just gushes about like UFC, and I watch it. It was a good time. So I feel like I can get down with that.
Experiencing things through people is also fun.
And my friend Hunter, she's really into like the Japanese wrestling league, I guess, or used to be. And
Shit's crazy over
a
there.
few times I had like watched a few fights with her. Yeah, and one of my coworkers is also really into it.
It's addictive. I've been around wrestling. All my friends were, that was like the era.
I don't know.
It
It's
never
just not
caught
my
me.
thing.
It
I'm
never
not-
caught me. I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
must admit. Was here like not my thing. And then I saw it in person
Okay.
in the tiny room
get
that
down with the
Vino's
drama,
is,
I'm
and it
sure.
was they don't do it's all action. They don't waste time on like storylines. They are just like, I'm
really?
here to beat
Okay.
your ass. Last one, dude, did the crawl across the beams and just elbow dropped the dude right from the ceiling.
That sounds insane.
It was It's fucking insane.
It sounds unhinged. I feel like I could get down with it.
That's what I'm saying. I know
Okay.
you would like it.
Okay,
We
I'll check
kind
it
of have
out.
some similarities, especially
Yeah.
with the chaos part of our brains. Like, it's pure chaos. I'm describing it as the most punk rock shit that ever happened in that
Okay,
punk rock
fair
venue.
enough.
It's
Speaking of
wild.
like unhinged shit, this person I'm talking to, they got me to watch MILF Manor. Have you seen that?
no.
Okay, if you
I'm
have
gonna.
HBO, or I guess it's Max now.
I have Max.
This is the most insane trash TV you will see. Like, did you ever watch like The Simple Life, or do you like any trash TV?
I don't even know
reality
what that
TV?
is. No.
Oh, yeah,
Reality
with, like,
TV.
Paris
No.
and-
No.
Okay, so sometimes I can get down with some
Road
good
Rules when I was,
trash
like-
TV, and this is like the worst thing you've ever heard. It's like they get like these like older women, and they're just like in a house together,
Oh,
and they're
God.
like, it's gonna be like a dating show, and then they like get them together, and they're being cunty, and just talking shit, and then they bring out the big reveal that they're like people that they could be dating, or like the other people's like sons, and it just gets it's unhinged. It's
fuck?
unhinged. It's terrible. It's the worst thing, but it's also amazing because it is the worst thing.
Does it give you anxiety?
I-
Does it make your heart just be
Maybe.
like, I
was,
can't
like,
believe this is
sick
happening
a few
right now?
weeks ago, or like a week ago, so I just like
Binged it?
watched it, and I was
What's it called?
it's called MILF Manor. I feel like it's a very vital and important document of our culture. Like, it really speaks to the times, I think it's a good commentary.
I'll
on...
watch it. MILF Manor.
No,
Oh my
it's so
God.
dumb. I guess.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking art form is peaking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and especially with
We're
the
at-
writers shit
we're
going
at
on right now.
throwing
That's what
young-
we're gonna be doing now with the writers' strike. We're just gonna be
Oh,
watching bad reality
that's
TV.
why reality TV got so big, was because of the first one. They went,
Yeah.
oh, well, we don't need you. And I'm on the writer's side, but you have to understand, in 5 years they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
This is coming whether we all want it or not.
Yeah.
It stinks. It really stinks. I'm all for it. You're not gonna win against technology.
For sure.
They have all the money and they're all powerful. What?
15 minutes.
We got 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes. Is there any important question you need to ask me? I got 15 minutes.
I feel like I've asked all the stuff.
Lightning round.
Lightning round?
Yeah.
How tall are you actually?
I wear my platform, so I'm really tall, but I'm also already tall. So I'm like maybe like 5'11".
5'11". I feel like you're over 6 foot though, right? Normally?
Listen, these are like 2-inch platforms.
Yeah, but you're taller than me and I'm 6'2", so you got to be over 6 feet.
I don't know. I have no
Haven't
idea at
measured
this
yourself in a
point.
while.
Yeah.
Let's see, lightning round. Favorite clothing brand.
Favorite clothing brand? Damn.
Oh, favorite hair dye.
Right now I got Arctic Fox, and I don't know. That's what I'm using, but it works.
Where'd you buy it?
I stole it from Ulta. Don't arrest me.
Good answer.
Yes.
Next question. No, I'm not good at lightning rounds. Turns out, pretty bad at it. 15 minutes. Kurt, you got anything?
Yeah.
Come on, lightning round, Kurt.
Let's go.
You put me on the
Let's go.
spot, and now I feel like I'm on the spot. We were going.
I don't like putting you on the spot, but we have another one at 3.
I know.
So that's the only reason why.
Cranking out 2 of these
Otherwise,
today.
we'd go for forever.
Who's the next person?
Chris from Brother Tongue.
Okay.
Have you seen them yet?
No.
It's
Hell yeah.
wild as fuck.
Okay.
And they are unassuming. You ever see The Chariot?
Yeah.
Bunch of dudes in hoodies, just kind of like, and the first note hits and it's pure chaos.
Yeah.
It's like that, but the
Okay.
front person is in a fucking fur coat the whole time.
Hell yeah. That's kind of slay.
You
I
know
need
how
to see
hot it
that.
was up there on the Vino stage?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Fur coating it. Doesn't give a fuck.
That's kind of a serve, though. I'm glad that we're like bringing looks back to Arkansas.
I would fucking die. I would pass out.
No, that's what we were joking around. We were like, we need some more, like, we need people to be serving, but instead it's just receding hairlines. You go to a show and it's like a bunch of dudes in metal bands with receding hairlines.
Hey, I got these luscious locks. They're
Yes,
going
you
nowhere.
do. No, you're killing it. You are
Yeah.
killing it. Could it be?
I need a better haircut. I need to get, man, if I had like not the job I have, like where I have to go to like people's houses, my hair would look insane.
Hell yeah.
I would carve like shapes in the side
Oh
and
my
shit.
gosh, okay.
Yeah. I'd go full riffraff.
Yes. Oh my god. Speaking of riffraff, have you seen that movie Spring Breakers where the guy
Where they
plays
stole his
essentially
likeness?
riffraff?
Yeah. He sued him over that.
Really?
Mhm.
Did he win?
I think he did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so evident. It's like, well, there's only one he literally created this entire style.
Yeah.
There's only one fucking guy famous, and it's him. You know, the burly boy.
Yes.
He's so fucking wild.
tiptoeing in his Jordans.
Yeah. Oh, they look amazing. Fuck. Oh, when I had Twitter, he follows me on Twitter.
Nice.
Love
I
that
don't
dude.
have Twitter. I have
I
to
don't
tell
either.
you a dumb story about Twitter in our 15 minutes. So I briefly had Twitter, and
Was this like 2008? Really?
this was like back in the day. This is really back in the day. Shit. Okay, now I'm drawing a blank. I'm ruining my own story. It was okay, it was that one famous. Okay, they have the line in the song where it's like, all around the world statues crumble for me who know
Who
how
knows how long I
Yeah,
love
do you know
you?
what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
What is that song? It's Fly
Everywhere I
by
go,
by
people stop it.
whatever their name is. And
Don't
I
go.
at the time I just kept hearing it on the radio.
I just want to fly. Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray, yes. So I tweeted Sugar Ray and I was like, what does this mean? Like, explain this. Like, I just need to know what this line means. And he said, it's a metaphor. And I was like pissed. I was like, that's such a cop out.
You just
So
delete
I
the app.
deleted
Are you
Twitter.
serious? Sugar Ray.
I deleted Twitter over Sugar Ray. The truth comes out. That's, yeah.
That's where you end a podcast. Okay.
And I never went back, and I know it's gone downhill ever since.
It was going downhill the whole fucking
I
time.
don't
That
need
app is a
another one.
cesspool
They're
of
always
shit.
discoursing and shit.
It's just that's why I quit it years ago.
Now that we got Threads, I guess, which is like the new Twitter.
We'll see. You know, to give it 5 years.
Yeah.
Promote all your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Look up my bands, Lap and Ultra, and we're on Instagram. Yeah, we used to not have any social media forever, but now we finally do.
Yeah. Is it just Instagram?
Yeah.
Is it just... Well,
It's-
y'all got Ultra.
That one was pretty recent, but with Lap, for a while, we played like for at least a year and a half, no social media, just word of mouth. And
You know
it was
what-
awesome. It was really
are
fun.
Are the at handles just the band names? Like at
Yeah.
Ultra?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
You got at Ultra?
Well, I added like the little like, it's like
It's like a little
let me
doodad.
find it.
Like not an asterisk. What's that thing called? Like when they... Like in French?
I'm bad at plugging my own bands. Okay, it's like it's
like a true
underscore
musician.
Ultra.exe, like the little file
Okay.
type.
Oh, like a file type.
And then Lap is just Lap with some like little underscores after it because I couldn't get Lap.
No.
So yeah, there we have it. Those are
Awesome.
my bands.
And you got some
Please
shows.
listen. We got
Yeah.
shows.
Lap will have a
August.
record
Hopefully
soonish.
soonish.
You think maybe by the end of the year?
Yeah, end of the year, hopefully.
Dope. Yeah, mine and
That's
Source
it.
putting ours out at the end of the year too. Hell yeah.
Cool, sweet.
All right.
All right,
We're on
we did it.
Facebook and we're everywhere.
And
It's Crashcast Pod and Twitter is Crashcast Pod 1, but that's on Kurt and we probably haven't posted in a long time. Go to patreon.com Crashcast and what was the other one? Oh, no, we don't have another one. All right. Thank you for listening. Peace. Heyo!
Okay, we did it.
We did it! No, you're not. We just crushed the fucking...